Do you have any cloth diapers that have really just been really well loved and don't have any more elastic, but they're in good shape otherwise? The PUL is intact and you want to try to use them again. I have a very simple tutorial on how to change your dead elastic to way better elastic. If you've seen other videos online, like I followed, they call for bobby pins, or safety pins rather, to do the tutorial and to change the elastic, but I found that was very, very difficult because the elastic kept coming out of the casing and I had to keep rethreading it, and it was very, very, very challenging. So what I use is Dritz 1/4 of an inch braided elastic. I've pre-cut it to about 4 inches or 4.5 inches. The BumGenius come factory set at 4.5, but I found that 4 or 4.5, it doesn't make that big of a difference. I also use tweezers to get some of the elastic out of really tight casings. Seam ripper I use little of, but you can use that if you don't have tweezers and you'd rather just take a stitching or two out of the casing. And a ruler, a sewing machine, this is a very basic model, a pair of scissors to cut thread and elastic, and the magic here is this thing called a bodkin. So it's a balled point bodkin, and it's got a ball on one end and it's got like a little slot at the end. I don't know if you can see, it has doesn't really have teeth, but it does grip the elastic really well. And so what you have to do is you have to find, the first thing I think is figuring out, how do I know if I need to replace my elastic? So what I did was I measured out. This is after watching videos and many attempts at fixing this. I realized that the elastics, you can tell if they need to be changed because they'll tell you here it's about 6 inches, this elastic right now, and it's supposed to be 4. So if you look, there's like very little give here. But if you look at the one that I've already changed the elastic on, this one measures out to about 4.5 inches. So this tells me that this diaper is very springy. I mean, you can tell the difference in even just how I'm doing this. So if you want to get your diapers back to usable shape so that your baby can use them for a long time more, this is how I do it. So I turn my diaper inside out, and because I'm one-handed, that's going to be a little bit more challenging than when you have 2 hands. But what I do is I find the casing. It's usually hidden really well in like the little seams. And what you can notice if you look is that these guys are really worn. You can tell because they are, well, first of all, the stretchiness is gone, but besides that, they're like really thin on one end. It's hard to see this one, so I'm gonna get my tweezers, and this is the point of the tweezers. I kind of use them to pull up and get more view of my elastic. So you can see that it's kind of thin right there, and it's overall just not very stretchy. This is the original size of the elastic, and this is very stretched out elastic. So what I'll do then is get my pair of scissors, and without cutting the PUL, I'm going to cut the old elastic out. You do not have to do this, and this is going to be different than other tutorials that tell you to use a safety pin and you put it in here now. I just found that was extremely challenging for me when I was trying to move 30 diapers. I was trying to change the elastic on 30 diapers, and by the time I got to the third one, it just took me about 45 minutes. So this way it takes me 15 minutes to change the elastic on an entire diaper, the 2 side gussets and the back waistband. So I've got my elastic, old elastic here. Gonna snip it off. and I'm gonna just look for the other side of it to get me to find the other side, and here it is. So I'm gonna pull this one up. Gonna pull this up. Sorry. Gonna pull this up, and you can see it's like dead. You can even measure this to see how stretched out it was. So this one was, oh wow, this one was 6.5 inches. That's really, really bad elastic. So then I'm also gonna cut this side because we don't need this elastic. Be careful not to cut the PU. So, and then just discard it. So now what you're gonna do is you are going to sew brand new elastic, your 4-inch pre-cut, and you're gonna put it on here. And so what I can say, it's hard for me to sew with the machine while I'm recording. I did one side. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this through your machine. You just put the elastic on one side, and then where you can tell where it was sewn before, I just sewed right on top of that. And you take it, and you can see in the back, I tried not to go through this PUL layer, which is the waterproof part. I have gone through a few stitchings through it, and it hasn't really impacted my diapers a whole bunch, but try not to go through the PUL if you can. Just like pull it back when you put it in the machine. So I just put it in the machine, thread it really carefully. I set it so that the needle's gonna hit right in the center of my new elastic, and then I go forward, backwards, forward, backwards. You don't have to do it that many times, but I want to make sure it's really secure. So when I wash it, it's not gonna come out. And then I pull it just to give it a pull test, and it's really tight on there. So now I know that it's ready for the next step, and that is when my most favorite thing in all the world comes out now. This is my favorite tool for this, and I wish I'd known this 24 diapers ago whenever I was doing this by hand with bobby pins, and I even had a makeshift crochet needle that I was trying to do. It was terrible. So what you'll do is you'll thread this part, thread the new elastic through here, and it is very hard for me to do that right now, but I'm gonna try. It's not gonna work. But so basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull it through, and since, I'm gonna have to try, hold on one second. So you pull it through, and I tied a little knot here. So you're gonna find that when you tie the knot, because of how thin this particular elastic is, it'll just go right through, and like when you try to pull it, it'll just come off the seam. It'll come off the slit. So what you do is you just do a simple knot here. It came off mine already. But if you look really well, you can see that in the diaper, there is a tiny little hole. I'm going to show you right now. In this here is the elastic casing right here. And so what you're going to do is when you have the elastic on your bodkin, you're going to put it inside the casing, and you're going to pull it all the way through. Right, so I'll just simulate it. So my bodkin is going through, and you'll see that it comes up this side. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And so you pull it out, and you're going to pull gently so that you don't like tug it, you know, just like gently pull it out. And if mine was threaded through, you would see it on the end here. And then I would sew the end that I have here, take this part off, and then I'd have a little bit of elastic left here. So I'd sew it just like I did the other one. I'd sew the new piece that was threaded through. I would just put it in through here, and then I'd make sure to grab the edges of my fabric, sew it so that it's nice and tight, And then when I'm done, I just do the other 3 sides. So like I said, this method takes only 15 minutes or so, and the other methods took me so much longer. So if you have a few diapers to convert, please consider getting one of these guys. It is seriously a lifesaver. I'm gonna put a link to this thing in the description so that you know where it is. And then you will have a diaper that you can use again and love for many more months or years. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. Have you found any other secrets to converting cloth diapers that you think someone else would find helpful? Please feel free to share in the links. Thank you so much for watching.